Welcome to the GreenLyf Podcast, where we ignite climate action through meaningful conversations that bring together diverse perspectives on sustainability and the environment. First and foremost, let me introduce my co-host, Sitashima, Thapa. Thapa is a native of Nepal who has spent 8 years in the United States navigating her academic and professional journeys in the realm of environmental science, sociology, and philanthropy. And she has previously worked as a climate and energy policy fellow at the National Wildlife Federation and is currently employed as a development coordinator of the OSEA Environmental Council and a research associate at Indiana University Lilly Family School of Philanthropy. Sitashima also brings with her previous podcasting experience from her time as a co-host for the Anthropos podcast. In her free time, Sitashima likes to wander and spend quality time with her family, friends, and dogs. Welcome with me, Sitashima.
Hi, Samuel. Thank you so much for the great introduction. Now, let me introduce you to our audience. Samuel Kusasira is the managing director at Activism's GreenLyf Foundation and a lecturer at Macquarie University Business School in the Department of Energy Science and Technology. Samuel's journey is as impressive as he is pursuing a PhD in energy economics, focusing on climate electricity access and climate vulnerabilities on primary education completions in Eastern Africa. As a certified carbon literate by the prestigious Carbon Literacy Trust, Samuel is leading the charge in environmental advocacy and awareness. His contributions extend beyond academia. Samuel is the visionary founder of the Activism's GreenLyf Foundation, which is a grassroots organization empowering students and young professionals to become catalysts for change in their communities. Through innovative initiatives, Samuel is shaping the next generation of climate leaders. I'm very much looking forward to working with you, Samuel.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Sitashima. And we are your host for today, and this is our very first episode. We are really excited.
Yes, Samuel, we're very excited to introduce our podcast, which is dedicated to making complex environmental issues simple and actionable.
Yeah, and whether you are an environmental enthusiast, an activist, a policymaker, or just someone looking to make a difference, you are in the right place.
I agree.
The right place. Yeah.
I agree. Here on the GreenLyf Podcast, we will be diving into real-world stories and highlighting stories from people just like you to discuss a sustainable future.
So, Sitashima, it's very good that we introduced actually the GreenLyf Podcast. But why do you think this podcast matters to our listeners?
That's an excellent question, a great place to start for us. As we all know, climate change is a massive challenge. And we do have all this information out there, but it sometimes can feel very overwhelming. But here's the thing, it really doesn't have to be, right?
Yeah, you actually, it shouldn't be. And the GreenLyf Podcast has been created to break down the big complex issues into conversations that are going to be accessible, informative, and inspiring. We want to empower you, our listener, to think with us in creating knowledge and coming up with tools that help you to take action in your community in regards to climate change.
Yes, and speaking directly to our audience, we are delighted to introduce you to what you can expect from this podcast, our mission, and some exciting topics we will be covering in the upcoming episodes. But first, Samuel, I think we should start with the real life story. What do you think?
I think we cannot talk about GreenLyf podcasts without thinking about people who have led a life of great. And I want to share a story that you all know for those who live in Uganda, but also those who are delighted to know about Uganda. You know about Marira Forest. But if you don't know, it is actually one of the largest rainforests in Uganda, located in Buikwe district along Kampala-Jinja highway. This rainforest has been vulnerable to encroachment by sugarcane growers, charcoal burning, and timber logging, among others. But Sitashima, could you tell a story of what happened in 2007?
Yes, I recall you sharing this with me, so I will share it with the best of my abilities. But in 2007, when the forest was being given away to sugarcane companies, activist Beatrice Atim Anyor, aka Mama Mabira, who is now the Minister of Environment, single-handedly organized a group of youth, civil society organizations, men and women, and successfully put up a fight to save Mabira. Now the rainforest remains an endangered carbon sink eyed by potential investors and the local community that sees the rainforest as a wasted fertile land.
That is very absurd that even after such a fight, people still look at it as wasted fertile land for agriculture and logic. But what actually makes this story not just a story of Mama Mabira's and her determination, but how even after all these years, the rainforest is still vulnerable. And this shows that actually the fight against environmental degradation should never stop. Like it should never stop because we want to work within to ensure that we are able to save the environment, but also mitigate the climate. Sashma, what do you think?
I agree with you, Samuel. I think that stories like that of Mama Mabira need to be shared and it needs to take the center stage for podcasts like ours to ignite climate action and commitment to environmental conservation.
Thank you. I thank you. And I think to our listeners, that story should be one of those that you're going to look out for in our GreenLyf podcast. But so what exactly is our mission here at GreenLyf Podcast? We want to spark change. And our climate conversation will do that through one, educate. We will break down the science and the current events, policies, and the innovations surrounding climate change in simple terms. But also, secondly, we want to inspire. We shall share successful stories of activists, experts, frontline communities, organizations, government agencies, and innovators that are working around to act on the changing climate. And thirdly, we want to empower. Most importantly, we want to empower grassroots innovators and organizations by providing a platform where they can share about their work in a very comprehensive and simple way.
Our vision is simple: to ignite climate action through a platform where diverse perspectives on practical and informative conversations converge.
So Stashman, and that's a very brilliant vision for sure. I would love us to even think about what is going to be in our upcoming episodes. So we are going to dive deeper into topics that matter most. And here is a sneak peek of what you should actually expect. We will explore the role of youth in climate action. And we'll also look at the role of media in climate and environmental communication. But also we'll take you on a learning journey on communities that are fighting back against the impacts of climate change.
Yes, and these are just a few topics that we'll be diving into. There will be several more. And here's something we're really excited about. This isn't just a one-way conversation, right, Samuel?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we want to hear from our audience. We want to hear from you. We will be interacting with our listeners on social media, answering your questions and featuring your stories on the podcast. So make sure to connect with us on Instagram, LinkedIn, and X. All right, so Samuel, before we wrap up today, I want to leave you with one thought. Climate change may feel like an impossible challenge, but the power of collective action cannot be underestimated. Whether you are an individual taking steps or a part of a larger movement, every step matters, right, Samuel?
Yeah, I think it's really a very important thing. That's a very good way to really think about it, Sitashima. And I want to really take this opportunity to thank everyone for joining us on this very first episode. And thank you, Sitashima, for also joining the first episode of the GreenLyf Podcast. We hope that our listeners will be excited as we embark on the journey towards a sustainable and climate-ready future.
Yeah, don't forget to subscribe, share this episode with your friends, and tune in for the next one where we will be talking about the role of youth in climate negotiations at the upcoming United Nations Climate Change Conference, in other words, COP29.
Together, we can create change. Together, we can build a green life for everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And bye-bye, our listeners. And bye-bye, Sitashima. See you in the next episode on the GreenLyf Podcast.